In this video, I'm going to be revealing everything that I know about Amazon to Amazon sourcing. These sourcing methods helped me sell £1.7 million worth of products so far this year, which has resulted in about £250,000 in profit. Now, this isn't going to be your basic buy any product on the Keepa sales page advice that you might get from other Amazon FBA gurus online. This is a full-length A2A sourcing course completely for free. I'm going to be taking you through every single aspect of Amazon to Amazon sourcing, from how to find A2A deals, the product criteria that I always check before making any purchasing decisions, and even how to completely automate A2A so that you're making profit from these methods completely on autopilot. So make sure to grab a pen and make some notes throughout this video. It genuinely has the power to change your life if you pay attention. So let's get into it. Let's start off with just an introduction to Amazon to Amazon sourcing. Amazon to Amazon sourcing is essentially where you're just buying from Amazon, like from the actual Amazon website, often from Amazon themselves, to just sell that product back onto Amazon at that full retail price. So you're making profit from price errors as well as just temporary discounts, big sales. Prime Day, for example, is a massive opportunity for buying A2A deals, as well as Black Friday. In some ways, I would liken it to stock trading. It's how I described it once to a post office lady that was very interested in why I was constantly returning and sending off loads of different parcels. You're essentially just looking at a graph and buying at a low point in the price and trying to sell that product back at a larger price in the future. So as you can see on the graph on screen now, you can see that this particular product dipped down to a low of £63. And shortly after that dip, it then rebounded to over £100, but I was able to then sell it and cash in on the profit of that price difference. It's actually really simple in concept, just not so much in practice as it is with most things. But if you pay attention throughout this whole video and watch to the end, you will fully understand it by the end. So price errors on Amazon can often occur just due to how they manage their pricing across all their inventory. Amazon sell hundreds of thousands of products, and it will be impossible for them to price all of these items competitively just manually doing that, right? They don't have a million people on hand to do that. So, like most companies, they use algorithms. Their software will automatically try and find that product on other websites and try and match a low price elsewhere if it detects one. But unfortunately for Amazon, though luckily for us, this often means there are loads of errors. They'll often price match items that are just not the same. For example, they might be selling a 20 pack of crisps and they match the price for a single pack of crisps. Or they're selling some really expensive Dior perfume, and on Amazon it's the 100ml version, and they've just price matched someone that's just put the 20ml version on sale. So you're now getting a £100 bottle of perfume for 10-20 quid. And as with most deals like this, the shorter the window of the drop, the better the deal is. You want to be grabbing those price errors that go out of stock within like an hour or two. The longer that price stays low, the more of a chance that other sellers are going to grab it. You're going to have more competition on the listing, and the more of a chance that, maybe it's just a permanent price drop. Maybe the manufacturers have slashed their pricing and you're just reading the graph wrong or reading the situation wrong. So why it's also good to have a look at other retailers, see what the price of that item is, and see whether it makes sense or not, basically, on Amazon. Is it just a case that everywhere is slashing their prices and there's no indication that it's a limited time sale? Or is it the case that Amazon are matching one specific website that says they're having a sale that's only going to last for one day? And in a situation like that, I would say it's definitely worth a purchase. So why is Amazon to Amazon so powerful? So for one, sometimes you can order unlimited quantity of these items. In a lot of cases, they do have order limits, but obviously there's ways around that by just having multiple Amazon accounts. But every now and then you'll also find deals that are completely unlimited, and that means you can get thousands and thousands of units if you want. There's been many cases I've seen, for example, like in the group Live Cops, where members have been able to get thousands and thousands of units of a product, and they've posted pictures of literally like stacks and stacks of Amazon boxes. And this just means that unlike a lot of online arbitrage deals, you're getting it in such huge quantities that you can just make crazy profit, even if the item's not very expensive. Another really good benefit of it is the risk-free returns that Amazon offer. Though I don't do it so much now because I'm a lot more confident in my kind of analysis and a lot less sensitive to kind of mistakes every now and then. But when I first started out with Amazon, I didn't want to be making a loss on any products that I was buying. And so what I would do is I would just order stuff from Amazon. I'd wait for the 30-day return window, and if the price hadn't gone up by the time that I had to return that item, I'd just return it. It was completely risk-free, and that way I was basically wouldn't make any losses. Unless the price had gone up to where I expected it, I was just gonna send it back. And my favorite part of it is you can fully automate Amazon to Amazon. Whilst you definitely need to know kind of how to analyze the deal, the actual finding of the deals and the purchasing of the deals can be fully automated, to the point where you can run this method and make thousands of pounds per month, whilst literally only doing 20 minutes of work every few days just to check what's been bought and cancel any orders for stuff you disagree with. I would argue that A2A sourcing is probably the best method for selling stuff on Amazon, just because you're always going to get authentic products, all of the benefits I've already talked about, and it's just so easy. So how do you actually do A2A? So you want to be using Keepa or other Amazon price drop monitors to check for sudden price drops on the Amazon website, and then you want to be looking at the Keepa graph to check it to see if the buy box price that you're buying it at right now is far below historical norms. Basically, if the price right now is the lowest price it's ever been in the past 6 months and it's never really been that price before, there's a good chance it's going to be worth a buy. After that, it's super simple. Just purchase the units from Amazon, wait for them to be dispatched. By the time you get them, the price should have gone back up, but if not, you can always wait, as I mentioned, before sending that product in, and then you just send in the products like normal and wait for them to sell. So I just mentioned Keepa or other Amazon price drop monitors, and that's the software that you can use to find these products. So let me show you how to use these bits of software and how you can get signed up to them. So firstly, we've got the kind of most basic, the longest standing method of doing it, and that is just a Keepa deals page. So you can sign up to Keepa for about 15 quid per month, and you will then get access to the Keepa deals page, where you can see right now there's 135,000 products for me to have a look through to try and find some potential deals. So the first thing you want to do is just change your filters a little bit. So first off, I always exclude a bunch of different categories. So I'll exclude probably the unknown category, exclude outlet, everything else, fashion, digital music, Audible, Kindle store as well, because you can't really flip those, Prime Video, and we'll get rid of large appliances as well, because I'm not trying to ship a washing machine. Then we want to be looking at buy box deal type. We want to change the drop percent range to only show us stuff that's dropped at least 30%. Sometimes I'll even put that up to 40%. I find that cuts out a lot of the stuff that's not really profitable. I also want to look at only stuff that's at least £10 or about that. We'll do a max sales rank of 80,000. That just ensures it cuts out a lot of the stuff that just doesn't really sell. And finally, you want to sort by newest. So that means that the newest price drops show up first, because as I mentioned earlier, the best price drops go out of stock really quick. So you want to know as soon as the best things come into stock so you can buy them. And then it's just a case of looking through all of these products. So some things I just automatically know from experience aren't going to be worth looking at. Like stuff like this, I don't think this really sells. This is probably private label, maybe. So this has dropped from 27 to 17 pounds. But yeah, as you can see here, once we've opened this up and checked it in Profit Go, it's only selling 3 times a month, so that's not good for us. We can have a look at this toothbrush as well, but this is the kind of pattern that you really don't want to see. It's basically where the price in the past week has dropped. It's gone from £60 down to 35 here, but earlier this month it was at 44 anyway, which after Amazon fees is not going to be profitable. You can't sell alcohol. This looks kind of private labeled. The same with this, same with this. Let's see if there's any brands that we recognize. So I recognize Bosch, but yeah, this doesn't seem good to us. The price history is just not great. It's currently £19, but 3 months ago it was 12. Okay, we've got the Shark fan, so this looks a bit more interesting. So this is at £99 right now. We can see it's a strong seller as well. It sells 200 times in the past month. So yeah, if we look on the price history, we can see at one point it was at 149, but it has got a lot of price history at £99. And being that it was just gone into September, I don't know, this is a little bit of a seasonal thing. I mean, it's still nice and sunny right now, but give it another month and it probably won't be. Now we can have a look at other retailers like the Shark website and other places, for example, see what this is going for. So a couple places do have it at £99. See, Dominic Smith has it at £99. Shark website is at 149. So it's looking okay. There's definitely potential here, but just because of the seasonality of it, you can see sales are already dropping off. I'd probably give this one a miss purely because of the seasonality. And it does just spend a lot of time at £99, even though Amazon are going out of stock, and I think people might still be making sales at this price. With A2A, because the good stuff tends to go so quickly, you do have to be checking this page, 3, 4, 5 times a day and going through all of these deals to try and find out something good. And just a lot of this stuff is just not even even worth checking. I've had a little flick through things. I just can't really see much this morning, honestly. We've got this Tefal pan. Did look interesting at first, but now I can see, you know, it's got a lot of price history down here at like 25 quid. I don't think anything on this page, honestly, is worth buying. It's not profitable. I think it might just be a case of just kind of checking this page throughout the day, see if anything more pops up. But yeah, right now, across all of these deals, I don't really see anything worth buying. That is kind of one of the drawbacks of this method. You are just going to check this page a bunch, and a lot of the time, there's just not going to be worth buying anything. There's no point kind of forcing a deal because you just haven't really bought much lately. I always say it's better to just kind of wait for something good to pop up than spend your money on something awful. And right now, I'm not really seeing a bunch of good stuff. Now, the good news is Keepa deals is not the only way to find A2A deals, and it's not even a method that I use anymore. It worked great back in 2022, but nowadays you need to be doing something a little bit better to stay ahead of everyone else. So to take it to the next level, I would definitely recommend A2A sourcing via Discord group monitors. So for in live cops, for example, they have a bunch of different channels that allow you to track Amazon to Amazon deals. So here we have the hand-picked ones, so staff members check all of these channels and post deals that they themselves has reviewed. So these are all deals that have actually been checked by a human, which is really awesome. And they've got sections for regular A2A deals, as well as ones that are specific for business accounts on Amazon, which allow you to get quantity discounts. There's also channels like this, the over 50 SPM A2A, which just posts unfiltered deals that have not been checked. You can see some of the ones that the staff pick up are posted by these same bots. So you can monitor these channels manually, and you can maybe pick up stuff just before anyone else starts to clock on. But the problem with these channels is you still have to do the analysis yourself. You don't have someone kind of checking these. These are all just posted kind of unfiltered. But then that is where the Genius Picks channel come through. So this is something that's just been added in the past couple weeks. It now uses artificial intelligence and a strict set of criteria to automatically analyze A2A deals that are picked up by the monitors. And as you can see here, this is just a constant stream of really profitable products. You can see right here, this sells 400 times per month. It's high profit, high ROI, really low offer count as well. You can see this graph is just a pattern we want to be looking for, this really straight line and a big sudden drop. Same with these as well, really straight line, big sudden drop. And again, super high sales, really good profit and ROI, and a fairly low offer count as well. And you can see there are just so many of these purchases. They're getting posted all the time. Obviously, you still need to do your own analysis as well. You know, the bot's not going to be perfect. But compared to any other software I've used, this is the best thing on the market right now for just kind of manually monitoring these A2A deals. So all of the deals in this channel are all deals that sell more than 50 times per month. And you can see all of these have really high sales. But they also have a slow channel as well if you want to go a little bit below that. Buy the stuff that sells a little bit less, and it applies that same sourcing logic whilst just filtering out the stuff that doesn't sell as well. So you can have a look through this list yourself. You know there's going to be probably less competition from other sellers because a lot of people just avoid this kind of stuff, but you can still capitalize on those kind of deals to where you're still going to be able to make a good profit. It might just take a little bit longer to sell. And yeah, this software is amazing, honestly. There's never been something quite like it. Up until recently, pretty much every solution on the market, you just had to manually check it yourself, and this is time consuming. Not to mention, you actually need the knowledge to look at these A2A deals and figure out kind of the good aspects, the bad aspects. And if you're not confident in your analysis or you're new to this game, that can be really difficult. But this just gets it right almost every time, just flags up profitable stuff that you can buy straight away. And it even gives you a brief summary of kind of the good aspects and the bad aspects as well. Something I really like as well is if you want an even more detailed kind of analysis of these products, you can even just ask it, you know, analyze this A2A deal, here's the cost price, and it gives you a way more in-depth analysis, gives you a checklist of things to check, gives you an AI recommendation, gives another analysis statement, gives you any cons as well as key risks, alternative scenarios, so like the best and worst case scenario, which is always something I want to check, as well as a detailed breakdown of the fees as well that you get from selling this item. So all round, absolutely love this bit of software. If you want links to either Keepa or Live Cops, there will be links down below in the video description to both of those bits of software, so you can just sign up straight away and start sourcing these products for yourself. So just to summarize, let me give you guys a few more tips on the deal analysis. So with A2A deal analysis, you've got those same core principles of when you're looking at an OA deal or anything else, but there are a few more key things to keep in mind. So you really want to be looking for those temporary price dips, not just permanent price drops where the product is just at that new price forever. It's a really good idea to check other retailers' websites and the historical pricing history to just see where you stand with that current cost price. You also want to ensure that Amazon always shares the buy box. If you're getting a notification on ProfitGo or SellerAmp SaaS saying that they don't share the buy box, might be worth avoiding. You want to also avoid any items which have frequent returns or fragile packaging. You know, something like a set of glasses, you know, it's probably going to come packed well, but you might want to consider the fact that some might break in transit if you're mishandling them. And if you see the frequently returned banner on any Amazon product, run like the wind. Do not buy those products because you don't want to be kind of dealing with loads of returns. Now, my minimum criteria is I won't usually buy anything that's less than 25% ROI. I also want to buy stuff that's in the top 1% of sales rank. And of course, I'm always looking for that stable price history on Keepa. Just like those price charts I showed you from the LiveCops tools, you want to be looking for those really straight line graphs and the big sudden drop in pricing. Now, if you do need more help with the deal analysis, check out my other full deal analysis video that I did about 6 months ago. You'll see the title of that video on screen now, or there might be a link on screen as well. And in there, I cover way more detail about using Keepa, using profit analysis software like SaaS and ProfitGo to work out whether or not something is actually a good buy. So finally, the really juicy bit. How do you turn this from just a method that takes kind of a lot of time and effort, you know, checking these tools often, frequently throughout the day, manually purchasing these deals? How do you turn that into something that can automatically make you thousands of pounds per month? So it's all possible because of a bit of software called Kaos. Kaos is an amazing tool that I've been using since I first started Amazon back in 2022. A2A is a custom Amazon bot that automatically scans Amazon for big price errors and price drops. But the unique part of it is that it can automatically place orders for these profitable deals, which means you don't need to be at your desk. You don't even need to be awake. If it's 2, 3 in the morning and a price drop has happened, Kaos can pick that up and buy it for you. All you have to do is review all the Kaos purchases, keep the good ones, like you can approve it on your account, and then cancel any of the bad ones. Now, how do you actually get access to Kaos? So unfortunately, the full version is kind of closed to the public. The only real way that you can get access to it is through my mentorship program, because we have a really good partnership with the Kaos team. Now, the full version of Kaos is great. It's got lots of cool secret features, but honestly, the Kaos Lite version as such is amazing, and that's available through LiveCops. And how it works is it directly hooks up to the LiveCops monitors that I showed earlier, like the Genius Picks channel, as well as the staff picks and any of the unfiltered channels. If you want, you can completely customize everything to your own criteria, set what channels it tracks, set what deals it buys. Obviously, I still recommend checking them just in case, you know, the bots can make mistakes. But basically, 9 out of 10 of the things it buys are going to be really good, profitable leads that sell well. And you can do all of this automatically without needing to hit refresh on a website multiple times a day or be active on Discord, monitoring the server, ready to hit checkout as soon as something goes live. Kaos does all the hard work for you. You just sit back, relax, and wait for the profit to come in. So finally, let me give you guys a few top A2A tips if you're going to take this stuff to the next level. So number one has got to be just don't source products where Amazon doesn't share the buy box. If they don't share the buy box, probably worth avoiding it because it's going to be really hard for you to sell it without undercutting them heavily. Now, A2A invoices also unfortunately can't really be used for ungating brands or categories, at least anymore. It used to be a really easy way of getting ungated, but I think Amazon have just kind of clocked onto that. Sometimes they'll approve you if you've got 50 or 100 units of a certain brand, but even then it's a little bit hit and miss. I'd recommend if you need to get ungated for a brand, look for an invoice elsewhere, get 10 units from another site, and then work with it that way. But over time, the more stuff you sell on Amazon, the more stuff you get automatically ungated for anyway. Now, most big price errors happen really early in the morning, like 1 to 4 a.m, because no one else is awake, but the bots are that make the mistakes. And that means this stuff kind of sits in stock about that time, but by, you know, 6, 7 a.m, it's usually gone out of stock or someone's realized the price error. You can leverage bots like Kaos to catch these sort of deals in your sleep. A2A is also pretty risk-free if you manage your returns well. If a product comes back, for example, and it's defective, and there's actually an issue with it, you're able to usually return that item to Amazon. Because they have warranties and cover and stuff, Amazon is really good with customer service. And since you bought it from them originally, say your blender comes back and the motor in it is burnt out after a month, that's usually a really easy replacement or refund with Amazon. You just got to kind of phone up customer service and chat to them. And basically the name of the game is you want to be using tools like Kaos or Keepa's product tracker to monitor dips over time. So the full version of Kaos allows you to track specific ASINs to auto check out those. But for most people, Keepa's product tracker is completely doable, and that's all you kind of need to be tracking specific products for yourself. So there you have it. That is everything that you need to know about Amazon to Amazon sourcing. It is a really easy method and one that I definitely recommend to beginners. But really, it is easy money no matter what level you're at. I've been doing it consistently for years now, and I absolutely love it. But as powerful as A2A can be, there is kind of a limit on how many deals can be found per day, and it completely relies on Amazon making mistakes. Now, thankfully, the secret sourcing methods, which are reserved for my mentorship students, offer a much more reliable alternative, which finds deals from all across the internet from thousands of different sites that are virtually impossible to find with any other sourcing methods. Now, on top of the secret sourcing methods that my mentorship students get to be taught, I also include regular one-to-one coaching calls, access to my private leads channel where I raffle off the most profitable products that I've actually purchased myself, as well as a complete 10-hour video course and so much more. So if you'd like to take the time and effort out of sourcing, then click the first link down below at the top of the video description and book in your free consultation call with me today. On that call, we can discuss where you're at with your Amazon FBA business, your plans for the future, and whether you're actually a good fit for the mentorship program. So finally, make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and click up here to watch my video on storefront sourcing, where I go into the same amount of detail as I have in this video about another method that you can use to find profitable products to sell on Amazon.